And we're going to center it. Here it is. So there's our UI, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is incoming missile, and that was supposed to be, what color was it, right? Yellow. I don't know, right?
Sure.
And it's too small, 60. And we'll put on overflow for now and not wrap, overflow. Right? And wrong font, right? That's the wrong font.
Prototype, right?
Got to grab that prototype font. Right, and you just like do that.
Okay. Yeah, I got that. So I could create these anywhere, but it's best to create them in the game scene.
No, create them in a prefab.
Create them in a prefab. Okay.
Yeah, and that prefab is in the game scene.
And so UI toolkit HUD is going to be in. You have an original of that, and the prefabs are in all the other scenes.
Yes, that prefab. I mean, you do know about prefabs. Right?
Yeah, they're effectively copies or ghosts.
They're references from Maya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in all of the UI toolkit HUD is in every one of the levels.
Mm-hmm.
So
did you create that, or was that already there?
It's always been there. What I've created is where it says canvas.
Uh-huh.
This is all the new UI.
Uh-huh.
The old UI is this other junk.
I see, and we'll slowly get rid of it.
Yeah, and so one by one, we're just replacing these things.
I can do that, yeah. So I do it for one level. How do I propagate that to all the other levels?
Well, it's a reference, right?
Okay.
So if you edited, you don't do it in the level, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do it in the prefab. You go to the prefab and you edit the prefab.
Right. So that's what I want. That's what I want to do.
Yeah. So let's call this missile warning. And you know what? I probably want a frame for all of those. So let me just create an empty. Create an empty, and this is the, I don't know, warning text. And we'll put the missile warning onto the warning text, just so that I can say they're organized, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that.
All right. So every single one of the levels has its own scene. And I'm going to go into that, and I'm just going to go and change the prefab, and it's going to take me to the original.
Yeah, let's go back.
So what
let's
I'm
open
saying
the
is
scene.
I change it for one level, and it's changed for all levels.
Yeah, a prefab is a Maya reference, right? So if you change the file that is being referenced into multiple scenes, you change it in all the scenes, right?
Right. Right.
So yeah, like I just added that missile warning.
Mm-hmm.
It's here. Here it is in mushroom level.
Nice.
Because I actually remember to go to the prefab and edit the prefab. Sometimes we forget. I always forget sometimes, and so I work on it here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need to update the prefab. Right? So like if I had done it here, I made some change. I'm like, oh, like I forgot to put an outline. I want to put outline. Let's put outline, and let's make the outline white. I think it was white. Boom. Okay, cool. And I'm like, oh, snap. I accidentally put that not on the prefab.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just update the prefab. I think they have an option here. Maybe not. But if you select the prefab, select asset, it'll take you to where the prefab is.
Mm-hmm.
That is the prefab. And then you can just do this. Boop. And that replaces the prefab with this one.
That's interesting.
And so now if I go to the prefab, we should see that it has the outline.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. I can't do that in Maya, so that's nice. Yeah, I can do that, Matt. No worries.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea to start learning that stuff.
Yeah, I'm positive on that.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome. And so as far as this goes, I just did all of this. So if you actually edit this, we're going to step on each other.
Okay.
So what I recommend you do is probably stay out of the in-game UI for now and do the menu work.
Yeah, okay.
For any menus that you wish to change. And then we'll coordinate for this file.
Right. And that is for the text that you've just written where it says incoming missile tends to be weapon warnings that are in real time, that are in the game. Sorry, I'll be more specific. That are when you are racing.
Yes.
I do remember that the menu system was fluid in that it was not accessing anything from the Atlas.
Okay.
So I think a majority of those picture words we're trying to get rid of are all from the levels.
Well, there's this one.
True.
Isn't that a picture word?
That could be. I'd have to look at the Photoshop.
Let's find out. Yeah. Yeah, that's a picture word.
Mm-hmm.
Complete with the dotty dot dots, looks like. And it's backwards too, to boot. What was that about?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
It was 2016. Bowie and Prince were still alive.
I don't know whatever drugs you were on at the time, but
I had a German author. What can I say?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I can go through this. I can go through the Atlas and identify the words that need changing and ones that are level.
Well, I would say, how about going through the menus and rebuilding?
Because I think a majority of the menus, I mean, I will, but I want to identify the words that need replacing from the Atlas first? Because the rest, I believe, are changeable.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of planning it all out and then going, because it just wastes a crap ton of time.
Right.
I would rather just hit the ground running.
I understand. What I'm saying is what you're asking me to do, which I'm happy to do, I believe is already 90% done.
No.
So can you go into the scene that has like the garage and all that stuff?
What's that scene? Is it main menu?
Yeah, main menu. Like, I'm assuming you want me to change this.
This is what it looks like.
Blech.
It's foobar.
Yeah,
it needs to be destroyed, dynamited, and rebuilt.
Okay.
We have all this NGUI shenanigans, like this menu, and you're like, hey, it's done. No, that's all NGUI, needs to all be redone.
Okay. I see. So when David's going to deprecate NGUI, he's just going to destroy it.
Well, that's our plan, yes.
Okay.
Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the in-game menu, the in-game UI, and I'm not saying, well, that works, so let's keep it. I'm saying, okay, that needs to be replaced with a new method. That needs to be replaced with a new method. Piece by piece, going through all of it.
What I didn't understand was that all the art that NGUI is used needs to be rebuilt.
It does not. Well, when you say art, the PNG files mostly are fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like my task is I got to figure out what this even is. I don't know, so I tend to just sort of guess. Is it part of this? No. Is it part of this? No. Is it any of these? No. How about one of those? No. Well, maybe actually, because something killed the UI root. That seems like it's got to be in there. gotta be in here, right? See what I'm doing? I was like, what is that?
Yeah, you're just doing explorations.
Trying to figure out what is, no. So that's the background. Possibly it's in here. No, this is a camera, right? It's just like, I'm just trying to find where it says back and cancel and okay and who created that. And I don't even know. Okay. Eventually I'll find it, right? And when I do, like, I don't know. Oh, here we go. Here's some stuff we can look at. Maybe I can click on something. When we find one, this is, yeah, it's not a UI element at all. It's this other NGUI stuff that we don't want to use anymore.
Okay.
So what needs to be done is somebody needs to say, okay, we need this menu, and I'm going to make that menu now. And yeah, you can reuse these same PNG files for these images. If you can find them, right? They're in here.
Right.
Not that, right? I don't know. I saw something's called Menu Atlas. That seems promising. Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it looks like
every single
one. You're not going to want to reuse this.
Oof,
right?
No.
It's got the words in there.
I don't know. This is the stuff I want to deprecate, so I'm more than happy to rebuild. Yeah,
I think that should all be replaced with you make the frame as a single thing, like make this frame, make this frame,
right?
And then the words will be done with a font printer.
Right. Yeah, I think I see what you're doing, and then make the frame the parent of all the words in it. Yeah, so you're going to need an image for the frame. You're going to need an image for this button frame. And then and it looks like they've got a highlight version. Yes.
As well as an unhighlighted version. So you make all of those, and then you use Unity's UI to set up this using just a regular font printer.
Right.
And then we'll come along and program it to work.
Sounds good. I'll do my first tests and send them your way once.
Okay. Yeah, just pick something and do one little piece.
Yeah, and this is
and as you do, I would make a prefab of each one. Make each one in a prefab instead of trying to, like, don't even necessarily try to replace the old one, because I showed you how hard it is to find the old one.
Just make a new one.
Yeah, make a new one, and then maybe make a brand new scene even for it. So that you don't, you're not breaking anything.
Okay, then I'll make a new scene, and it'll be like test UI 2.0 or something, and then I can show you what I've been doing.
Yeah, and then you don't have to like do a mock-up, send us the mock-up, and then we repeat your mock-up, right? You can just do the mock-up and send us a mock-up, and we use your mock-up because it's ready to go. All right.
So is there not an easier way? You still have to cut and paste it from my separate scene. That's easier.
No, I would probably, like, if you made a prefab, and if you didn't make a prefab, I'm going to drag it into a prefab, and then I'm just going to drag that prefab into my scene.
I see. Okay. Well, that may be a good way to do it. I will read up on anything else I need to know. I do know that to make those frame corners at different sizes, it's kind of like what you did with the dynamic dialogue balloons and Spurpunk's tutorials. That you preserve the corners and then the lines become longer or shorter as you need. Yeah, I'd say there's a lot to learn. So one thing at a time, probably. Okay. Well, just make your button frame, drop it in the scene, and then if you say to yourself a little while later, yeah, I want a longer button now. How do I do that? Then hit me up and I'll show you how to make a longer button. And how many of these prefabs do I need, since these things change their sizes? The menus. Well, I like to sort of prefab everything. I'm like, if I'm going to make, let me do
New scene.
Can I change it? But a prefab will be a clone, meaning you can't change the prefab.
You can. You can override the prefab.
Okay.
Right. So, I mean, like, let's create. Let's say I just want to create the frame. So that's just going to be an image. Okay. And then we'll get the image. We want it centered on the screen. And how big do we want it? And it's centered, so offsets of 0.
All right.
Call it frame, right? Frame. We need an image for this frame. So let me see if there's anything halfway decent. Fine. Well, I don't know if I want to use that. But you see anything that could be a frame?
Yeah, I do. You've got the dialogue there in the lower left, like a dialogue box next to the bell and the speaker icons.
Next to the bell and the speaker.
Bring your cursor up. Yeah. Like the middle of those three is a frame that's very specific.
Okay. So there you go. I made myself a frame. Looks like I'm looking at the back of it. Okay. And so that's the frame, and it's 100 by 100. No, that's not big enough. It should be 800 by 600. Okay. Too big, apparently. 400 by 600. There you go. Okay. And then you want to put a button inside it, right? Yeah. So I'm going to do UI, give me a button. There you go. There's your default button. And you can place it around, and then what were we trying to do? Resize?
Yeah. Put some art in the button, things like that.
Yeah. So here's the image that goes on that. You just put a different image on.
Right.
And when you have an image like this one, that's got to be right here. We go to the UI, the Sprite Editor, and we say, oh, this is the guts of the image. Wait, hold on. I want borders, right? Yeah, I think this is how I do it. I go like this, and I chop off the parts that are the middle, like this is the guts of it.
Yep.
There's the guts, and then so I want it to expand around that shape.
Right.
Right. So if I say expand, I mean expand this part, but don't expand this stuff, the borders that I just created.
Understood.
And then this thing needs to be a sliced. And now look at that. And as I change the size of it, see how it does that?
Yep, I see exactly. Nice. If you had an outline, does it adhere to the PNG alpha?
Yeah, if I had not, wait, what? Yeah, it always adheres to the PNG alpha. You mean if I hadn't done this?
No, I mean your outlines that you've been putting on words. If we put an outline on this art. Oh,
can I put an outline on it? I've never tried putting an outline on a piece of art. Let's see.
Just curious.
Oh, look at that.
Ah, that's nice. Okay, so that's a way to thicken it if it needs thickening.
Yeah. I mean, I would normally expect you to do it in the art, but yeah, you could totally apparently do it here.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, no, this is Photoshop. That's all it is. All right, I'm in. I'll go start my learning after I go see The Multiverse of Madness at 12:30.
Ooh, don't spoil it, but tell me if it was good.
I loathe spoilers, so you got it.
Okay, but I do want to know if it was any good.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you like Spider-Man?
Oh yeah, I really liked the new Spider-Man.
Yeah. I thought so too. I'll let you know.
Okay.
There's a lot of talk of spoilers, and I hate them all. So I will give you a very anodyne but honest assessment.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right, man.
I'm gonna basically want to know. You should drag the family to go see that immediately, or just wait for like DVD, or right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Well,
what.
we're trying to get ahead of spoilers being part of just everyone's language. So we're gonna go in the theaters that give you lunch. That's how we got the family to go.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. All right, man. I appreciate the tutorial. I'm now gonna save it.